Big changes are coming to the Chili Bowl for 2024, and we'll talk about them, plus what's happening around the country this weekend. And some people just hate fun. Let's go. It's Friday, April 7th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is Dirt Tracker Daily. We'll kick today off with the late model show at Volunteer Speedway. Kyle Larson and Jonathan Davenport went slider for slider through the 50-lapper. Larson eventually came out on top. It was a hell of a race. Volunteer was the perfect place for this event. The banking there provides some great racing, absolutely massive slide jobs. Both guys on the fence trying to work their way through lap traffic. By the end, Larson was missing the right rear quarter and about a third of the spoiler, and last lap contact with Kyle Busch flattened his left rear tire, but he held on to win his own race. Dale McDowell got to second late with Davenport settling for third. Looked like the place was absolutely packed. They had 44 cars, and fans both in the stands and at home were treated to a banger. As we've seen so many times before from him too, Jack Kofer mentioned that Larson stuck around and hung out with the fans well into the night as well. A very kind of almost like Richard Petty old school vibes there with Larson. You know, you see those long lines of people waiting for a picture and an autograph, and Larson just staying there all night. Both Kyle Busch and Chase Briscoe needed provisionals to start the main event, with Busch ending up 16th and Briscoe finishing 18th. I did see some comments complaining about these two guys getting passes into the main event. And to those people, I'm curious, do you guys just hate fun? Of course they were going to be in the feature, and every driver and every team in the pit area knew it, and they showed up anyway. This was a special event put on by Kyle Larson. There's no way he wasn't going to put these guys in. This was not the Dream or the World or a pivotal show with a major touring late model series. This was a Thursday night special event meant to provide entertainment for fans in the area and for streaming. I don't understand why some folks have to take the fun out of absolutely everything. Looking ahead to the rest of the weekend, a lot of these teams had planned on running with and Tazewell with the Spring Nationals, but both of those shows were lost to weather. It's going to be a very wet weekend in the South, so those teams will probably have to look elsewhere for their next races. The Hunt the Front opener down at Alltech pays $20,000 to win tonight, and I bet some of these guys will try and beat feet down there to race. We already knew names like Tim McCready and Shane Clanton were going to join the fun. Sounds like we could also see Ricky Thornton Jr., Mike Marlar. I've been told Max Blair and Boo Briggs are going, and more. So check that one out tonight. $20,000 to win should be a very nice field down there. The other shows we've lost to weather coming up are the two All-Star races at Attica. They will try again to get those in next week, April 14th and 15th, although that does put that Saturday show at Attica directly up against Fremont. Will definitely mean some of the Ohio teams will have to make a choice between those two shows on Saturday. So with the All-Stars off, those teams will now scatter elsewhere with plenty of other sprint car options in play. The World of Outlaws are at US 36 Raceway tonight and 81 Speedway tomorrow. And all systems look like they should be go. Weather looks like it should be decent. David Gravel enters the weekend with a 26-point advantage over Brad Sweet. Carson Macedo, Buddy Kofoid, Logan Schuchart, the rest of the top five. Most recent winner at US 36 was Sheldon Haudenschild back in 2020, while Donnie Schatz won the only previous stop at 81 that came back in 2017. Both of those guys need good runs this weekend, as both have started slow through the opening 10 race nights. Each is outside the top five in the standings, already triple digits behind points leader David Gravel, and neither was able to crack the top 10 a week ago at Devil's Bowl. With as good as those top three have been, Schatz and Sheldon cannot afford many more nights like they've had. Car counts should again be decent. We know names like Brian Brown, Buddy Kofoid, Ayrton Genitin, Tyler Courtney, and Rico Abreu are headed out to challenge the Outlaws. If you aren't nearby, both nights will be live on DIRTVision. Other sprint car options for the weekend include the IRA at 34 Raceway, and it looks like that one's going to draw quite a few names as well. We should also get a full slate of 410 shows this weekend in central Pennsylvania. The Grove, Lincoln, Port Royal, all on tap, and the weather looks like it's finally going to cooperate. And out in California, the NARC 410 competitors will get to open their season on Saturday night at Hanford. All the California heavy hitters will be there for that one, including defending champ Dominic Scelzi, plus guys like Justin Sanders, DJ Neto, Corey Day, Shane Golobic, my guy Tanner Holmes, and many more. If you're looking for other shows this weekend, the USAC Sprint Cars are back in action on Saturday at Lawrenceburg. This one was supposed to happen last weekend, but did get rained out. Freddie Bacon leads the point standings over CJ Leary and Justin Grant coming out of Florida. The weather should play nice here. Early season winners down south included Jake Swanson, Dazen Persley, Brady Bacon, and Kyle Cummins. Cummins was the lone winner at the Burg a season ago. That won't be live on Flow if you cannot make it out. Also, Saturday, for the Big Block Modified, Northeast Modified fans, the Short Track Super Series is headed for the Orange County Fair Speedway. This is the first Elite Series show of 2023. This one's 12,000 to win, 1,000 to start. Should draw plenty of challengers. Names like Anthony Perego, Alex Yankowski, Jimmy Phelps, Mike Mahaney, Andy Bacchetti, Matt Williamson, Max McLaughlin, Matt Shepard. A lot of guys are going to be at Orange County. Practice session tonight. Racing starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. That one will be live on Flow as well if you cannot get there. Finally today, things will look different at the Chili Bowl for 2024. Sports Business Journal's Adam Stern tweeted last night that the event was seeking out new title sponsorship after its deal with Lucas Oil has expired. The deal with Lucas included sponsorship of both the Chili Bowl and Tulsa Shootout, plus TV coverage on MAV, and the rights to trackside signage. All of that is now up for grabs, with the event also exploring a new TV package for Saturday night's primetime racing. I had heard after the event that things between the Chili Bowl officials, Lucas, and Flow Racing had gotten a little interesting around the rights and entitlements, and with all the changes we've seen with the motorsport sponsorships at Lucas, this isn't all that surprising. The new management there, including the promotion of Morgan Lucas, has resulted in a lot of moves that we've previously documented. The Chili Bowl confirmed all of this in a press release this morning. I would guess that there will be plenty of sponsorship suitors for this event, but I'll be curious to see how the media rights play out. It's a very unique event. It certainly draws plenty of attention, but will any big players, in the TV channels be willing to get involved? We'll have to see on this one. We know there are plenty of challenges with this as well. MAV had handled a lot of production, so you're going to need that part of it. Plus, the way this event kind of plays out on Saturday night has continued to be an issue. Is this going to draw viewership until 12:30, 1 a.m. in the morning on the, kind of on the East Coast? A lot of challenges here with how this media rights deal could play out. It's our first real heavy weekend of the season across the streaming services. More tracks are opening as we get into April. We are currently in the 60s for streaming shows coming up over the next 3 days. We have not had a weekend like this so far this year. All the big players involved: Flow Racing, Durvision, Clay Per View, Speed Sport, Racing. I mean, everybody's got something going on this weekend. Plenty of racing between the national tours. Like I said, there's regional shows, local racing. If you want to see the full daily streaming schedule with links to watch all the way through the weekend, visit dirttracker.com/watch tonight. Hope you guys have a good weekend out there. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you're going to be watching this weekend. Any win picks you had, what tracks you're going to head out to. Certainly appreciate all of the feedback. Definitely appreciate as well all of you guys tuning in all week. We will be right back here on Monday for more Dirt Tracker Daily.